you're right in the corner. It's not 10:30 in the morning and there's 50,000 people out there and you move out there. I gotta...
Oh, that's a lot to lock out. There's 4 and the PR. Yep. Is that a PR? Ah!
in 69,
Yep.
he died in Vietnam.
Yep.
Now the Eagle Fair. Rolling on blue northern and Bill Tennis Drive. Bulldog in Mississippi.
Oh! That's right!
Take this cowboy. Now if your leather jacket means to you what this guy means to me, then I guess we understand each other and we'll just let it be. But if you still think it's funny, man, you got your back up against the wall. And if you touch my hat, you're gonna have to fight us all. Right then I caught a little sadness in Game's eyes. And he turned back to the others and they all just kind of shuffled on outside. But when my friend turned back toward me, I noticed his little hat brim, well, it was turned up in a big old Texas tornado across the western sky.
Roping old blue northern and milk it till it's dry.
Bulldog in Mississippi, and take us down flat. Long before you take this cowboy's hat.
Oh, let's see if we can get in focus here. Man, am I gonna get in focus? We'll see. Man, that was a big training session. Not just the fact that I've been here 4 hours or more. Obviously I didn't train that long. It takes a long time to set up. And then, I mean, I spend more than an hour just getting in the gym, feeding the cats, stretching, warming up, moving the bench from here to there, setting up bands, warm up in the back room. And then you can see my training program is gotten pretty complicated the last 6 to 8 weeks. But so much of it is based on therapy, not just get in and train. So, and I know I'm looking all red. I've got hot cream. I have layers of hot cream everywhere. So I think that, you know, I go back to bench. You know, I did warm-ups in the back. Before I did warm-ups, you know, I covered pecs, shoulders, biceps, and low back a little bit with some different creams, and did some therapeutic work on those. Went back in the back on the machine, got everything warm, came in, set up for bench press, went through my bench press there. I think I stopped before I started adding the bands. You know, I'm trying to get more than 100 reps with the roughly the zeroed reverse band work. And then, you know, I got another set of micro mini bands today on the way to the gym. And, you know, I'm just adding those on there, and I'm still feeling a little bit in the bicep. You know, I've got a little spot right there. It's actually not too swollen now, but it was sticking out earlier. And that connects, you know, that's bicep that connects into the pec and the lat up under the armpit. And, you know, that's where I'm feeling the pec a little bit, is, you know, on the initial unrack. So I'm trying to get farther underneath it. I'm trying to set a set up here. I'm trying to get down more. Even just getting down like that, I feel the pec tight. Wearing my Donnie Thompson Spud Ink bow tie, you know, it definitely helps with a little bit of pressure. It definitely helps, if nothing else, remind me to stay into a better position. But, you know, I worked up to 5 or 6 micro mini bands on there. If you watch that, you can tell, you know, with the reverse bands, I'm going through the motion. And that's kind of the way it feels, just going through the motion. When I add band tension to it, if you watch, I actually get faster. So we're adding weight, we're adding tension. We're not adding, you know, like chain weight. Chains are kind of weight. Bands are tension. You know, it's creating, well, it's just that, it's tension. And I move much faster, more explosive with the bands. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but the fact that I can do it is fairly positive. Went over to triceps, the incline JM presses, skull crushers, with the straight bar. I'm doing all my pressing with a 25 kilo, 55 pound squat bar. The bigger bar feels better in my giant hands and on my joints. Makes it harder to move around this tiny gym with an extra long bar. But I think my last set was with 187. I mean, that was a PR. So I mean, my goal was a plate and a half, so a 45 and a 25 on each side. And I was thinking 185 pounds, but that was with a regular bar. So I've got that. I just need to keep building a little bit. Get a little bit of irritation in the left elbow when I do that, which I don't have a right tricep tendon. Left elbow was broken when I was younger, so I guess that's the arthritis. Or I need to find a better position with my elbow. I'll watch the video and see. You see, I've got bruises kind of everywhere. I've been really sick all week. I've barely eaten. I've done nothing but just sit on the couch. I've taken a bunch of COVID tests, and I was negative on all of them. My whole family was basically exposed last week, so everybody's at home this week, except my oldest son. And he was exposed the week before that, so and nobody's come back positive. But I've done nothing all week but basically wake up, go pick up my son from school. On Wednesday, I barely got there to pick him up. He had to talk to me on the way home to keep me going, and I did nothing but just sleep. And I was in a lot of pain, wanted to vomit nonstop, severe internal cramping. I mean, you can always I'm not fat. I'm actually really lean, but you can see on all my videos, my belly sticks out a mile. That's internal swelling. That's internal gas. That's my intestines just swollen everywhere. And I swelled so much just on Wednesday that I've got new stretch marks on both sides of my stomach, and each one is wider than my giant finger. I've got 2 on each side. And I couldn't take the tablets for cramping or for pain, so I'm sitting there just with the injections. And I mean, I've hit like 3 spots on a shoulder, and you can see, I've hit here, I hit 2 or 3 spots on triceps, and glutes and hips, and it's just every 4 hours, just wherever I can find a spot to keep me from being in a severely bad position. And I think that could be why my left elbow is a little bit irritated and everything feels a little bit off, is that I've put injections just everywhere, and I'm sore a little bit. So the incline dumbbells with the Spud Inc handles, I had to go back and recalculate what I did last week, because last week I used the 90s and I got 3 and I got stuck on the 4th one, and I took long rest periods. This week it's 97.5, I think, each one, and I did 6 or so really solid with a hold. And I didn't push any farther because I'm nervous about if I hit that strain, is it safe? I don't know, and I got to make long-term progress. And I was just really shocked that it came through as well as it did. I really don't know. Into biceps, I was really unorganized when I came to biceps. I wanted to do like 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 15 rounds total. So I wanted to pick the first exercise and do 3 rounds of that, 3 rounds of the second, 3 rounds of the third, fourth, and fifth. And then I got excited on the first one and just started flying through. So I want to do more of the easy curl bar. I use the block because I want to do a little more of the squeezing and the twisting. It's going to help my stones. It's going to help my log. It's going to help my wrists and forearms just a little bit. And it's something different. And I want to continue doing everything that requires me to be completely stretched and out. So I've got some yoga bands. The store only had 1 the first day that I went by, and then they found the other one, so I went and got that one. They were €7. And honestly, I really like those, and I'm probably going to go by and get the rest of them. It's really nice because I can grab different sections. I can do a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because they have each section with a different handle and a loop that I can grab, and they feel really, really nice. And then with the yellow bands, one of them just felt much heavier than the other, or it's my right bicep that's not as strong. But and then the bicep tantrums as well. I think what I'm going to do with those is continue with the smallest band, and I'm probably just going to use that as a complete finisher, and run 20-second rounds or 30-second rounds with that. Probably separate from the 10-10 program that I run. I think at that point in my training session, I was pretty flat, pretty fried. It's been a long day, long week, and I can definitely tell that I'm worn. I really had it in my mind that I wanted to hit that 105 kilo log, the 231 log. I've worked a lot on positioning the last 24 hours, just sitting at home, trying to get my back to flatten out, trying to get everything to feel decent, and it hasn't. But I ran through the 60s, I ran through the 70s, and those are basically percents. And then I did the 80s, I did the 90. The 90 wasn't bad, it felt pretty solid. I considered jumping from 90 to 95 or 97 and a half, but I thought, okay, I'm just going to put 100 on there, and if I get 100 to make it clean, then I make it clean. If I hit 100 and know that 105 isn't there, then I'll try for a second round of 100 to get a PR. 100 was clean. The 100 that I did a few weeks ago was really ugly, and I stepped all over the place. So I did 100, tried not to celebrate, loaded 105 on there, and came over and sat down. The clean felt decent. I got a decent spot. Leg drive was okay. I've still got to work on setting the weight onto my hips while keeping my spine locked in and my elbows up. That's a whole lot to do at once. I've got a bunch of clients, and I only have a couple of clients that can do that as well. Usually there's always one major thing that's off, and that's usually the knees going forward to compensate for the correct body position everywhere else. Nailed the 105. I don't think I had 107 in me. It went up. I was out of position when I drove with the legs. I had to fight and keep it in line. I had to fight and find that correct foot position to keep me stable and just keep everything as locked in as I could to get the press. Slight celebration. And then finished off with the jumps and the positioning work with the small log. Guys, I'm exhausted, but I promise you I'm absolutely thrilled. I'm fired up thrilled. That 105 to 231 has got to be the most I've had on a log in 2 years. So, that's it's not impressive, it's kind of sad, but that's progress, guys. I began this year. It is early February 2022. I began this year at 60 kilograms, and that was 105. I began this year at a painful 60 kilograms. I quit last year because I went to press 60 kilograms, and on my second set of severe pain, 60 kilograms, I just put the log down, so that's it. I'm not going to press anymore. That's it. So gone from nothing to 105. I could complain, but I'm sure not going to. Got to get back to the drawing board. I got to build some more shoulders. I got to build some more back. 10-10 work's going to start for lats. 10-10 work has got to come back in for triceps. I've got to get the calf work in, as much stimulation as I can for calves. I'm doing a lot for calves right now, and my feet and calves are just staying sore. Not just muscularly sore, but tendon sore, bone sore, painfully sore everywhere. So I'm going to do everything I can just to continue to get better. And as somber as I probably look right now, I am fired up on the inside, and I'm going to go home and I'm just going to sit back and watch the video and just sit there with my family and smile. So dream about Sunday. So big stuff coming up on Sunday, I promise. I promise we got new equipment coming on Sunday. You're going to enjoy seeing it. Until then, have a great one. See you Sunday, guys.